Finn Balor. It's going to get better. And I'm a little looking forward to this Survivor Series because you have Team Warfare. You have SmackDown versus Raw, which I think that's something they should do for every Survivor Series going forward. As long as they keep the brand split, you make it Survivor Series and maybe 1 or 2 WrestleMania matches, but you got to have it brand versus brand. And I'm liking that. We got on SmackDown this week, we saw The Undertaker return, and he stated, hey, he doesn't want to be known for WrestleMania. He's back on a part-time basis, which is good for business. I would love to see The Undertaker in a feud with AJ Styles, or rekindle that feud with the Wyatts, or have have another match with Orton. There's things you can do. You can book it properly, and I like when they get on that side of angle. We get the part-timers to mix it in with the full-timers, but we don't always put over the part-timers because that's just bad for business. Because you can never get your full-timers over if you keep putting over your part-timers. And also at Survivor Series, we got Brock versus Goldberg. Goldberg said he's back, for one more match. I don't buy that. I think he'll be back for maybe 2 more matches. I don't see how you could have Brock Lesnar lose again to Goldberg. They wrestled about 12 years ago at WrestleMania 20 when they was both, at the time, their last matches. I just don't think you can make that mistake again and have Goldberg win over him clean. I think Brock's going to decimate him. That'll be best for business. You got to have Brock go over, and then maybe they have a trilogy match a la WrestleMania or a Rumble. But you cannot have him go over Brock Lesnar. You cannot do that because you can't have him up 2-0 against Brock because that defeats the purpose of this, this monster, this ass kicker you have built up since Brock initially came back to WWE. So you can't book it that way. I think WWE staff will book it correctly and stretch this out to a trilogy. And then when it's a trilogy, it's a crapshoot. You don't know whichever way at the time they want to do this. But I believe Brock has about 1 more year left on his contract. I don't know if he's going to wrestle past 2017, but we'll see. We'll see. I think for booking purposes, you have to have Team SmackDown go over if you want to keep that lore of SmackDown being the underdog show, doing really well. Because let's face it, they're booking SmackDown better. I think they're booking it better because they want to get more viewers tuned in on Tuesday nights because they know people will always tune in on Monday nights. So the best way to do that is make the Tuesday show look a little bit better, even though it's not as talented and stacked as the Monday night card. But I think that's something they're probably going to do until the new year. Again, when Finn Balor comes back, they probably bring up these guys from NXT. I could easily see a Samoa Joe coming up around Rumble time. Usually at the Rumble, they bring up people anyway, surprise appearances. I think this year we'll see more surprise appearances from the NXT crop because that's one thing I'll give Triple H. He replenishes that roster very quickly. As quickly as the 4 horsewomen went up, Asuka came in and she's doing well over there. As quickly as someone like Apollo Crews, who came up and is not doing too well, they've replenished him with Bobby Roode, who's phenomenal. Everybody loves the glorious entrance. I was a big fan of him from TNA. And speaking of TNA, you have Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. Who knows who else is going to come down there? Triple H is always trying to restack the roster, which is great for business. And it's great for business overall for the WWE. Maybe they need to recall some people back to NXT and do some, swaps. Like, say you bring a Samoa Joe up, but you call back down Apollo Crews, tweak him a little bit, and then eventually bring him back to the main roster. That's something they might want to look at down the line because it will help the overall brand of everything. But we'll see. We'll see how WWE feels about that. I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm looking forward to this Giants-Bears game. The Giants got to keep the momentum going. Get another W and keep the pressure on the Cowboys. I think the defense has hold up well against the Bears. I hope Odell has another great game. I hope Cruz is back for this game. Shepard, I really am a big fan of this Giants receiving core. and I still feel like they haven't hit their stride yet. They're getting close to that stride that I think they're capable of hitting. We'll see. These 2 weeks. They're paper. They're going to be wins, but you got to play the game. You don't know what kind of Bears team's going to show up, and you don't know what kind of pride the Browns will have next week at home. So get these 2 wins, write out the schedule, see what we can do. I like where the Giants sit at 6-3. Keep the pressure on the Cowboys, and just roll the dice. All right. So I just want to drop this short views from the city. I'll catch you guys during the weekend when I drop another one. We'll get more detailed about more of a fan reaction to the Giants game, to the Cowboys game, to the Jets game. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace.